Here at the ArtRage room, and Barbara works with ArtRage. She's an absolute painter and artist, and she's going to show off the iPad version of ArtRage.
Hello, nice to see you guys. So this is ArtRage for the iPad, and I just prepared within the last 10 minutes a little sketch, and I used the layers here. And as you can see, I have stacked up a bunch of layers, and I'm going to click them on and off so you can see actually what changes here. So now the background disappeared. This one here, this layer is done with the oil brush, which is the tools you have on the left side. I click on my brush, and now I see a color wheel. I can pick my color within the wheel and choose my brush size and my brush the kind of brush. So I'm going to choose a normal round and the size around 45%. And when I apply, now change the color a bit more so you can see it better. Let's check if I'm on the right layer. No, I was on the background, that's why you couldn't see it. Okay, so you can see that the color smears nicely like real oil color. It behaves like the natural product. And I can do shadings. And if I want to smooth it out a little bit more, I use my palette knife and go over the strokes and can achieve really nice blendings even on the iPad. So here I got into the eyes a little bit, so I'm going to erase that. See on which layer, okay. So in the eyes, by the way, we're done with the watercolor tool, which we have here. And we have, again, a lot of different options here. I'm going to choose my size. I need a really small size for this. And the color is going to be changed. Check the layer. So I can get a nice glossy effect here with the eyes.
Very cool. And how can you import photos you've been working on the Mac? And is there like an online way to do those, or through iTunes, or how's it done?
Well, I really like the Dropbox option.
Mm-hmm.
So you can have all your pictures there, and you can send it in and send it out, and I think that's a smart way to do it.
Okay, so it's directly with Dropbox. You can do it right with an app. Does it work with iDisk and things like that, or is it just Dropbox for now?
I think it works with an iTunes too. But
okay. Yeah, I love Dropbox. It's fantastic. Cool. Any other? Can you walk through all the tools that are on the left there?
So this is a paint bucket. This is the razor I showed. This is, let me just clear those layers so we have some, or maybe we just
and then undo support. How many times can you go back with the undo? Do you know, or is it?
I think you can unlimited.
Unlimited.
Yes.
Okay, awesome.
So let's see. I'm just gonna show you a few tools. So this is crayon. to cut that.
Is the layer?
I don't know, I'm probably on the wrong layer. On an off layer, I'm probably, see, that is correct. Let me just, can you cut this out? So I'm just going to turn these
sure.
off. And we're going to choose the bucket here and choose a color. And you can actually just color your paper really easy. So whatever, if you ever want a fast background, that's the way to go. So we have the layers here. I showed that earlier. I'm going to create a new layer and I'm going to use the crayon. I have the settings here with the size and pressure. And so this is a lot of pressure. If I take the pressure down, you can see a little bit more paper through. And it, of course, works with all the colors. I'm going to undo this to show you the next one. Let's choose another color. And here's the felt pin. I really like that one too because it adds up as it would. You see the strokes always add up. It's really cute. So then we have this one, and this is actually a really nice one because it does auto smoothing. Because it is kind of difficult on the iPad sometimes to get a smooth stroke, and I can turn that on here. And let's say I want to draw an eye, and it did not really work out, and it smoothed everything nicely. So also for grass and stuff like that, it just makes the shape really nice and even.
Yeah.
Let's get back, give us a little bit of room, which is very important, the undos.
Yes.
Always helps. So we have the pencil here, and it's the same thing. We can choose our thickness down here and the pressure. And also the softness. And I also can change the color. And it works quite nice. So, but here, of course, the auto smoothing is, so if I sketch very often, I take the pen first and use the auto smoothing on the iPad, and it really helps.
Yeah.
So the oil tube, one of my favorites. You choose a color, size, and it squeezes out.
So with the
color.
oil tube, you'll squeeze it out, and then do you use another tool to kind of spread it around? Or?
Yes, I mean, as you can see here, maybe you can swing over. This is done on the big screen, and I use the oil tube to create a Van Gogh-like painting. And on the sky here, I flattened it with a palette knife. But for some features, like here on the grass, I left it like you can see on a Van Gogh painting.
Yeah.
So it is interesting, and it gives really the atmosphere of a real world.
Okay, cool.
So what else do we have? Yeah, I can show you. So this is the roller here, is for fast and big changes you want to make.
And these tools, are you able to do them without any color at all, to just kind of spread with that, like a water sort of?
So you would use a palette knife for if you want to spread the paint. You would choose a palette knife. I can show you if I set up another tone over here. I can blend those together.
Okay, awesome.
So then we have the airbrush tool. It's very small and delicate. You can also change, and you can change the pressure and the opacity here, and even the blend mode. And the last is the watercolor. Well, the oil brush, but I showed that. Watercolor, you have a lot of different settings. I like the heavy bleed a lot. And it really mixes like watercolor, which is not so easy to do. And when you go just with water now through that, it really is the effect like it is on wet paper. You have actually wet paper setting and so many different settings. It is so much fun to play around with it.
Is there a way to share this stuff with Flickr and some other photo sites within the app? Are you sure?
Coming soon.
Coming soon?
Coming soon.
Okay.
I'm announced one. I don't talk about it on your
Okay.
I am sorry,
Coming soon sometime.
I am not the iPad expert.
Yeah. As an artist, what kind of limitations does the iPad, hardware and everything that it has, I guess, impose upon you from the desktop versions?
Well, of course, the tool tip is a little bit of a problem because it is not as fine.
Yeah,
It's always a little-
there's no pressure sensitivity and
No pressure sensitivity, and it's also a little. I mean, if you use your finger, it has a certain size. So the desktop version, of course, is a little bit more delicate with these things.
Because it's pixel, you can get in and touch
Yeah.
pixels. This is more, it's less pixel perfect, I guess. when
Yeah,
you're working
and I
with
mean,
it.
they tried to include watercolors and features like that, and really sophisticated features, and they are, of course, slower. But then when you do it, the result is really nice.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it is a decision you can make. You can paint all with oil and it's nice and fast. But if you want to use watercolor, it works really nice, but you have to take a little bit more time.
Okay, awesome. Any other things you'd like to share about the iPad version?
This on simulating the natural media of oil and watercolor and stencils and those kind of things. And so we brought that to the iPad to have a look at. This one was a very nice one. So there's some very nice images here. Look at this one, how well this artist did the landscape here.
Yeah, that looks, it's just realistic looking painting.
Yes,
it's amazing.
so that's basically our focus. And so you have to, once you understand that, the limitations of the iPad, a nice mobile device that you can have with you all the time. You can have it with you to sketch whatever you see, and then go back on your desktop versions, work on the layers in Photoshop, and enhance it a little bit.
Yeah. So the iPad version runs $6.99 or $5.99?
It's $6.99, and here during the trade show we have a special for a few days for $2.99. It's going back up to $6.99 on Monday.
Okay. And then for those that get the iPad version that love it, they want to get the desktop versions on Windows and Mac. There's two versions. Can you go through those a little bit?
There's a Studio version for $40 and the Studio Pro version for $80. And most of the things are in the $40 in the Studio version, and the Pro version allows you to import Photoshop brushes. Both versions allow you to import and export out of in PSD and Photoshop layers with the layers intact. And you can make your own sticker sheets in the Pro version, and there's a lot of resources online that you can download and share. And so in the Pro versions you have a lot more options, like more selection features, more color models, and that kind of stuff. Go to the website and look for the comparison chart. It's like really a lot of professional tools that would take me like 20 minutes to explain here.
Awesome. And then the iPad version, of course, opens any files you create on the desktop, and the stuff you create on the iPad can then be opened up on.
Yes.
Yeah, vice versa.
So the iPad version can open the files. The iPad is also limited to 1400 by 1400 pixels, so on the desktop versions you can have larger canvases, and on the iPad version we do not have stickers and stencils and rulers, but we do have the layer system, as you just saw, and we don't have all the color models on the iPad versions, and some of the digital tools are not ported to the iPad, like sticker spray and the glitter gun.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for sharing this today.
Okay, thanks for stopping by.
Mm-hmm.